I was just changing the orientation and then I went live. So I'm live. Hi, this is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Let me just get the camera set up. I was like, okay, I'm getting ready. And then there it is. Okay. Hey guys, it's Kimberly. How's everybody doing? Just want to do a quick live. And I say quick because last week I took up way too much of your time. But this week, yesterday was our 5-year wedding anniversary. And it was also the Brit's birthday. And so we're kind of celebrating, like kind of the whole week. So if you're on, just say hey. So we're going to head over to Mumsy's house. She wants to do like a happy hour, and then we're doing some dinner and stuff like that. And she's been under the weather. She's doing much, much better. But I have been, let me just adjust that a little bit. I have been kind of being nursemaid. She got a cold and it rolled into pneumonia, and she's 79. So that's a little scary. But she's doing much, much better. So, and she's still, doing the little peacoat stitch. She's digging the peacoat stitch. And we have been hammering out these squares. I'm currently working on this one. Oh, thank you. I will tell him happy birthday. Yeah, so we got married. I'll give you the little backstory. In August, we celebrated our 16-year dating anniversary. So we've been dating a long time. We've known each other 20 years. Dated 16, married 5. The Brit was a little slow on the uptake, but we were planning on this. We were going on a cruise because you guys know we love cruising. So we already had it planned. We already had our friends coming along with us. And then I was looking, at the different excursions and stuff. And and so I was like, okay, we were going to the Bahamas and Jamaica and Cozumel, Mexico at the end, and then the Grand Cayman in the middle. And I was like, ooh, Grand Cayman sounds like kind of an exotic, fun place to get married. And it just so happened we were going to be there on his birthday. So I said, hey, you want to get married on your birthday on the beach in the Grand Cayman? And he's like, okay, sure. Like, okay, well, that was romantic and easy. Anyways, so that's how we ended up getting married on his birthday. It was already planned. Our friends were already on the cruise. We brought my son and his brother and couple and his son and his son's girlfriend. They met us there and stuff like that. So that's how we got married. But, I'm like, all right, it's been your birthday for a lot longer than it's been our anniversary. And I don't want to take away from his birthday. So me being like the good wife, girlfriend, I said, look, let's celebrate our dating anniversary, make that our big anniversary. And then we'll continue to celebrate your birthday, make it your special. And then we'll just acknowledge our wedding anniversary. That's kind of what we do. So that's what we've been doing. And we went out for his favorite food is Indian. Favorite food is Indian. It's not really my go-to. I just didn't grow up with it. He's British. And if you guys know anything about the Brits, they love their Indian food. I just, like me, pizza or Mexican food. Those are my go-tos. That's what I grew up on. I grew up in California. And, I grew up in an Italian family. So as a gimme, as a birthday gift, I said, let's go out for Indian food. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we went to this really interesting, cool bar that's called the Mothership. And it's, if you think of like a Star Trek episode and they get trapped on a like uninhabited or a uninhabited planet, but there's all kinds of tropical plants. So it's like a tropical space sci-fi place. It's the best way I could describe it. That was the bar we went to, and that was pretty cool. Anyways, and then we have a surprise. I have a surprise plan for the Brit for tomorrow. She doesn't know about. We're all about doing experiences. So it's an experience. And if he happens to be watching in the other room, I don't know that he is or not. I can't tell you what it is. Maybe I'll tell you next week, because I don't want to blow the surprise. Plus, if he's just listening to the room, but we're doing a experience surprise tomorrow. So yes, Kaylin, my mother is doing much, much better. She got a cold over Thanksgiving, and I've been calling her and checking in on her every day. And then I called her Monday, I guess it was. And I said, you know what? No, we need to go to the doctor. And I said, I'll drive you. No, I'm fine. She's like 6 miles away. So she drove herself to the doctor. And I said, you call me and let me know. And she calls me and she says, I have pneumonia. She's like 105 pounds and she's 79 years old. 2 bad things that you don't want happening. And so I was not impressed that she wasn't taking as good a care of herself. She does, but she's tiny and she doesn't understand that these things can make you very sick. Anyways, so she's been on mega, mega, mega antibiotics, and she didn't go in the hospital, which was a blessing, unless she absolutely needed to. So I've been going over to her every day, wearing a mask, just because it's kind of contagious. Probably not really for me. Anyways, she's doing much, much, much better. And she insisted on us coming over tonight. So we're going to do that. So that's why this is going to be a little on the short side. Excuse me. Hi, Candy. Thank you so much for joining me. So anyways, so that's what we're doing tonight. But I wanted to show you, we're getting so close. I did a count. Let me show you the squares or the blankets. Do you see all those? Oh my gosh, you guys, they have just the stack is growing and growing and growing and growing. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. I'm working on one right now. I forgot who sent me. Forgive me. These arrived, I think, last week. I just did, but I'm sewing these together. Somebody asked me, what are you doing? So the way I'm sewing these together, and it's going so fast. And somebody also sent this yarn in. So I'm using this yarn because I think it goes beautiful with these guys. So what I do is I bring them together and I'm doing the back loop of one stitch and then basically the front loop of the next one, kind of going through together like that, and then just single crocheting them together. It's so simple. And so it's making this really cool, kind of like a ribbed stitch with this nice contrast. So I sew them all together one direction, and then I go back and I sew down through the center. And it's turning out so pretty. Thank you, Kaylin. And this is a join as you go. So there's no ends to weave in. I just do the one skein. It doesn't use up a lot of yarn. As a matter of fact, I'll get this whole thing done. And there'll probably be a little bit of this left over. But it's so easy. So I just started this about maybe an hour ago, honestly. It was right about an hour ago that I started. So you can see how I sewed these together. It's going this way. And I do 6 rows or 6 squares, and I do 7 rows. So that's how we're getting. But yeah, these are really pretty. Loved the fall colors. It's just so amazing how all these are coming together, even the ones that we have to kind of do a little bit of a mix and match. So I've got another 3 that I have all the squares for. Mom has got, I think she's got 3 over at her place. And then I'm going to show you these guys that just came in that she finished. So we will, and I was doing the count, and I think we're going to have 40 or 41 blankets. So excited. So this one is one of my favorites because, like I said, I'm a sucker for color. And at first she's like, oh, I don't know about color, but look at how pretty this one turned out. So this was a combined effort of about 3 people, I believe. So if you look at this and you see your squares, just chime in below and comment. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, I love, actually, you know what? I'm showing you the wrong way. Hold on, let me do it this way. Because some of these we've added the flowers in here. And so these came in from one person. These came in from somebody else, like the pinks and the blues came in from somebody else. These came in from somebody else. And yeah, love this. And then I just did a royal blue to bring in and not really contrast. Because I mean, I know, Kaylin, right? First I was like, ooh, but I love, 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 love how this one's turning out. It's just happy. And I did the royal blue because trying to match any of these colors would be like, I can't even. So this one, I think this square here had some pretty royal blues. I think this is Big Twist. If I remember correctly, it's like that rainbow Big Twist. And then, of course, Mom did her little peacoat stitch down the edges. But I loved, and this one, and she even said, she goes, I didn't think I liked color, but it's definitely become one of my favorites. So this one is beautiful. Yes, love the colors. Love, love, love the colors. Okay, so this one's done. So we got confirmation the newspaper is going to run a story, and the TV stations, they're like, you know, who knows what's going to be happening. So they said, just keep posted, just keep sending us stuff, and then we'll put it in our news reel. I said, okay. So that was one. And then somebody else, this one I loved too. Somebody sent in these squares, and they sent a bunch of these squares. And I don't remember who. I don't have my notes in front of me. I wished that I had enough to do the whole blanket, but I didn't have enough. I wasn't sent enough squares, so that's okay. Then we blended in some of the other colors, and then I just picked this pink to tie in around the edges. But this, another one, I love this one. Love the way that this came out. Happy. I love how they're all so different. And we even threw in some browns in this one, but that was great. I love how they're all so different, and yet they all come together. You know, like when you do a granny square blanket, typically it's one person that does all the squares, and they're a certain color and a theme and whatever. You know what you're doing. So to bring all these squares together from across the United States and Canada, Trisha is from Canada. We've had them from far away as Fairbanks, Alaska, and as far away as Rhode Island. And then to have all these beautiful blankets come together is, yes. Okay, Kaylin. She said it reminds her of Holly Hobby. I had a Holly Hobby doll when I was a kid. As a matter of fact, my mom had made dresses and clothes for her. So yes, it does remind me of Holly Hobby as well. I love this. I just find it so amazing how all these squares are coming together. This one came in from Becca, which I think really is short for Rebecca. And because it wasn't that long ago I opened these, she lives in California, just a little bit north of me. So these are the all-in-one granny squares, and then she gave us these also great ones. So I just kept it with the gray and did these. So each one is just beautiful and different. I love this one too. So these are all the Join As You Go granny squares, and this came out beautiful as well. Right? Oh, love, love, love. All right, so these guys are done. And like I said, moms, I've got one I'm taking over to her tonight. She's going to give me 2 or 3 more. I've got another 2 or 3 here. And then I am down to the last box of squares. Let me show you guys. Let's see. These will go here with the finished blankets. Those go here. Okay. This, all right, this is the last box of squares. And then a lot of people sent in like blank cards or some cards that they already filled out. So I put them all in here. So each blanket is going to get a card. And these are all of the cards. Well, not all of them. There's a couple bags here of cards that people sent me. So if you sent me a card and your address and everything, I've kept everything in here because I haven't thrown anything. I don't want to lose anything. Here's a lot of extra bags. Those are great. Here's some granny squares that were kind of like not enough to make something full. So we're going to try to put these together. And then there's more squares. So enough to make a blanket in here, but you just got to make sure that they're all the same size. And I think most of these are. So we're definitely getting there. Definitely getting there, you guys. Here's some more little spirals. So this one's going to be interesting. And then I bought the ribbon. So I got the ribbon ready to go. And so, yeah, let's see. If you look in here, that's pretty much what I've got left of the squares. So I just have to kind of mix and match them and bring them all together. But it's happening. It's absolutely happening. So, yeah, and then someone gave me these beautiful blank cards here. Other people gave me these beautiful blank cards. These beautiful blank cards. So every blanket is going to get a blank card. I think somebody sent a couple of these guys in, which I just love. I love Mary Engelbrett. So everything, and then I just have to, and then here's somebody sent a bunch of these. I remember those were pretty. So once we're all done, each blanket, and I think I'm going to put the card like inside the, oh, and then these. Aren't they so pretty? Oh, wee. I can't believe it, you guys. It's only been 6 months. It's only been, see here, this says welcome home. So I'm just going to put this in with one of the blankets. And there's several that are like that. Somebody, yeah, this one here. I think this was, okay. I think it was Thrifty Chickadee that did these. I could be wrong. But she just, wrote these and then a beautiful little card. So all I'm going to do is put these, seal these so that everyone is going to get a card. 6 months. That's it. That's all it has been. And it's almost to the end. And I almost get my craft space back. Almost, which is exciting. Because it was looking a little scary and overwhelming, but it's coming together. And yeah. Yay. I'm very excited. So in case you guys missed the big news, we are going to continue with Project Welcome Home into 2025. So if you haven't sent in squares already, we probably have everything we need for this year, but we're going to continue it. So if you want to continue sending them in, or if you're just joining us and you want to be a part of it, you can send in the squares. I have included my P.O. box. It's up in the headline, and any of the Project Welcome Home videos, you can go and check. Yes, that's what people are like, oh my gosh, I can do some for next year. If you want to be so even more incredibly amazing than you guys already are, and you want to make more squares, yes, we're going to continue with this program. And if the place that I'm giving these to now, they have they don't need any more, or they don't need as many. We're gonna find other assisted living homes. We're gonna keep it going to the same people, the same population of people, and we're gonna keep doing it. So we're gonna keep doing Project Welcome Home. The assisted living where I'm giving these to, there is a independent living place that's connected. So you start out with the independent living, and then if you need a little bit more help, then you move into the assisted living. And those ladies have a crochet and a knit club. Shocking that they do. And apparently, I think I had mentioned they have done in the past, like a blanket here or there, and they've created the whole entire blanket and donated it. So I'm going to, hey, cat lady. Oh, nice to see you here. Okay, Candy asked the size of the squares. 6 by 6 is pretty much what we are. This is what has become the magic. It looks like this. I don't have my ruler, but I'm thinking this is a 6 by 6-ish, just about. And so 42 squares makes the blanket. So it's like 6 across, 7 down, or whatever. So the blankets are about 36 inches by 42 inches. So it's not even that big. Not really enough to cover a bed, but more so like if they're sitting in their walker or their wheelchairs or whatever, and they just want to it's more like a lap blanket. That's what we're making. And so these are all turning out, I just put them over there, but they're all going to be about this big. Let's see if I can show you. So this is like 6 across, 6 down. So it's not massive, but it's just big enough to cover their laps. Not going to be too heavy. But yes, you can continue sending them, and we'll continue making the blankets. The ladies at the independent living place are going to help me. You guys provide the squares, or the yarn. I provide the yarn. I bring them the squares. They're going to sew them together and help me sew them together. Because that way for them, all they have to do is just sit and sew them together. They don't have to worry about making the blanket and all that time. And, like with this particular stitch, I can do a whole blanket in a day, probably in about 5 or 6 hours. I've really nailed this and got this mastered down. And I do love it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we are going to continue Project Welcome Home 2025. And then who knows, maybe this is going to be, somebody said we'll make it a national thing. Sure. Yes, 100%. We can make it a national. Don't know how. Kimberly doesn't get to do any more work, which is fine. She's not really doing much work. She's doing this, and I teach yoga, and I'm going to start. Oh, thank you. Oh, hey, Sandra, your squares. Mumsy has them. So you'll get to see yours. I know these weren't yours. But I know the two that you sent over are in the process of being finished. So you'll see those on a video like in the next week or so. OO type houses. I made this 5-year for my mom's assisted living home. It's an actual house that someone runs and has 6 seniors. My leftover squares, I made 9 squares under blanket for the seat of a wheelchair. Yes, that is so perfect. Now, for some people, yes, the sometimes you find like a house that somebody like a residential home that people turn into like an assisted living. So, and maybe you have 5 or 6 residents. I'm going to find as many of these places as I can, and I'm going to shower these people with these blankets. I still didn't think, I thought no one's going to listen to me and no one's going to want to do this. And it has just grown legs, and it's now gotten to be such a thing that it's not me. It's bigger than me. So I need a little help putting them together, but we're going to continue, and I'm super excited about that. So it's fun. It's really fun. I am looking forward to doing something other than a granny square. I'm not going to lie. Because I want to make sure these are all done. I love the feel of this one. I don't remember who sent these in, but I love these, and I love the colors. It's beautiful. But this has taken on like a life of its own. So who am I to say, nah, we're not going to do anymore. We're going to do more. So you guys feel free to keep sending them in. Like I said, if there's anything past December 1st, they're just going to be given out, and I'll continue like in January and February, whatever. We'll continue with Project Welcome Home. We'll continue talking about it, but they're probably not going to be given in this December 20th big grand giveaway. And the seniors still have absolutely no idea. And I think they're going to be blown away. And I'm going to show you guys again. I love how every one of them is so different. That's our sun, by the way. Our sun's going down. It's pretty. Every blanket is so different. And so the Brit, he comes up with the best ideas. We're going to take a picture, an individual picture of each one of these blankets. And we're going to include it in the final video. So you can watch the video and you can say, oh my gosh, those are my squares, or all my squares, or those squares, were part of, my blanket or whatever. But we're going to take a picture of every individual blanket, and it's going to be included in in that last video. It's going to be amazing. We just want to make sure that everybody gets the credit where credit is due, and everybody gets to celebrate the hard work that they put into these. And they, everyone is acknowledged and is celebrated for this. I might sneeze. Hold on. I wonder if I sneeze, it makes you sneeze. Like you sneeze and then somebody else gets to sneeze. That doesn't happen. So far, I think we're okay. All right. But yeah, so that's all we're doing right now. Next week, I believe if it's the 13th, and I do believe that it is, yes, Mumsy, as long as she's feeling good, and I think she's so much better. She's doing so much better. She's going to come over, and we're going to be bagging them. We're going to be wrapping them up. So that is going to go on the live next week. We're going to do the live of the blankets that we're wrapping them and putting them all together, so you guys can see it and be a part of the whole thing. I got just plastic cellophane bags, and then we've got the ribbons. So we got green, red, and gold ribbons. And so that's going to work. Now I'm reading over. So Type How You says you made 9 squares. Hold on. 9 squares into a blanket for the seat, over the seat of a wheelchair. Okay, so it didn't stick over their lap. It went into a seat of a wheelchair. That is not a bad idea, because I have some squares, some beautiful ones that somebody made that were hexagons. And okay, so I understand what you're saying there. And they're beautiful, but I can't figure out a way to integrate them into one of the blankets. But if I sew them together, that could be a good, like there's some that are just, they're either too small or whatever. But if I could sew them together, because a lot of them have walkers, the wheelchairs, or they have the walkers that then you turn around and you sit in. And so that could be something that I could do. So none of these squares are going to go to waste. Absolutely every single square that you guys sent in is going to be used. That is not okay. So she's saying that your mother doesn't like public wheelchairs. So that's a great idea. That is a brilliant idea. Okay, thank you so much for that. Because yeah, I'm going to be like a little setting because I was like, do they want a scarf? I don't think they want a scarf. Somebody had asked if they want shawls. Sure, I'll take anything. Although I don't know how we could put a shawl together because they're going to be all different sizes. But if you want to make a shawl and you want to send it into us, Project Welcome Home, by all means, we'll definitely do that. And then we can give those as well. So, yeah, I mean, this is not me anymore. This is me and all of us doing this all together. So comment below and just let me know, like, hey, those are my squares, or I love the idea. Thank you, Taipao. I'm going to say Taipao because there's, if you want to give me your real name, I'm thinking of making a cover for thin foam for seat cushions as well. Okay. Yeah. So like a little bit of like, the foam filling and then making a seat cover. That's a great idea. Because a lot of them have these walkers and then you just turn around and then they sit in them and they kind of fold up. But that would be nice, for them to sit down onto as well. Yeah. The blankets, I think, are going to be a huge, huge hit. But that's a great. Tyree is your name, but no one says it right. So I go by Ty. Oh, did I say it right? Tyree? If I did, say yes. Oh, nope. Ty. Ooh. Okay, I'll say Ty. Okay, now you got me challenged. I'm going to keep going with it. So T-Ry. Teary. Okay. I like that. Did that right? Teary. Yay. Okay. Teary. And I see you comment a lot. So I recognize your name. So that works. Teary. That's not hard. That's phonetic. That's easy. That's a good thing. All right. So anyway, so that's what we're doing this weekend, and it's coming up super fast. But I asked Mom, I'm like, are you sure? Because if you don't want to do these, if you don't want to, if you're too tired or weak or whatever to do the peacoat stitch, I can do it. Really? No. She goes, I like to do it. It gives her something to do because I'm not letting her leave the house. I made her cancel all of her plans for the next week or two because I said, even when you're done with the antibiotics, you can still be really kind of weak. And so I made her cancel all of her plans, and I go over and we see her, we visit with her, but I'm not letting her leave the house because I don't want her to get sicker. And so she agreed, she acquiesced, but then she said, this is great. It keeps me busy. So I said, okay, but if at any time it's too much for you, you have to let me know. And she said she would, and she won't. So she's having a great time with him. Anyway, so we're going to go over and see her tonight and do these. And I've got about 3 minutes left. I promised I was only going to make this a half an hour. Last week I rambled on and on and on, but we'll have more squares. And then next week we'll be doing a lot more with the wrapping and all of that kind of stuff. We might not show you all the wrapping because, but still. And then any new squares we'll be able to show you guys. And then I think then we have a week to wrap up anything that we need to, add any thank you cards, finish any last minute squares, and then we'll be done. It's so exciting. I just really can't believe that we've done this. And I've got a whole bunch of other videos coming out. I just thought doing the live is a good way to kind of give you guys real time so you can see what we're doing and you can see these squares coming together and, your work is being done. And some people, I like to do the unboxings on the videos, but some people miss them and some people miss the live. So hopefully you can catch it here or there or one of the two. Yeah. So another thing that I will be announcing on my channel probably this week, just wanted to put it out there and let you guys know that in addition to Project Welcome Home, I'm just going to keep doing reviews and all the stuff I normally do, but I'm not going to do anything holiday related. I only have one thing I'm doing holiday related, only one. And I'll show you, I'll give you a little sneaky peeky. This guy, I got this from Yarn Inspirations. When I ordered some yarn for Project Welcome Home, I was trying to hit the free shipping. And it's an advent calendar. This is it. And the reason is, so I'm not going to do any crafts. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. She says this is a great idea. I presume you mean about Project Welcome Home. I think it's a great idea too. I didn't think it was going to be such a great idea that it would be so well received. But back to this, I'm not doing any holiday except for just the one little video to show that the entire season, because a lot of people don't celebrate the holidays for religious purposes or maybe, for whatever reason. And some people, holidays are not a happy time. And so I don't want anyone to feel bad going, I can't watch that channel because I don't celebrate or whatever. So we're not going to do any stuff. There are plenty of videos out there where they're doing Christmas ideas and gifts, last minute gifts. And if you want to look at those, go and get yourself some. I know that Tony Lipsy Yarncraft or TL Yarncraft, she's doing some. I know Cinnamon Stitches is doing some. I think Elise Rose Crochet, and I love it. More power to you. I just don't want this to be a place where people feel like they can't come because of that. So that's why we're not going to be doing it here. We're going to be just doing regular stuff. But Caitlin, yeah, it's cool. It's cute. Some of the ornaments are made. There's 12. So half are made and then half you have to make. So what I'm doing with this is I'm going to finish the ones that you have to make. And I'm going to give these to my seniors in the yoga class. So for those who take my yoga class, there's 12. And each one's going to get a little ornament from me. That's it. And that's what I'm doing with those. And that is different. Yeah, exactly. Sonia says there's something for everyone. I just want there to be something for everyone. But for those people that just decide not to, and you know what, Christmas is kind of funky for me too. It's very small, and we do celebrate Christmas. But my son and his girlfriend are coming, and she's Jewish, and she hasn't celebrated Christmas in like 25 years. So we're doing Hanukkah as well as Christmas. And then there's Kwanzaa, and then there's people that are just like, I would rather not do anything. And so I just want everyone to feel welcome and accepted and happy and being here. So thank you. Oh, well, see, there you go. Okay, Terry, she says, I did all my Christmas stuff over the summer. I'm already working on spring. There you go. Good for you. I got to tell you guys, another thing I'm going to do, and then I said I wasn't going to go past 30, and it's already 31 minutes. Another thing I'm doing, and I'll announce this on my channel as well, starting in 2025, I am setting up a challenge for myself, and I might have mentioned this last week, that I am going to not buy any. I'm going to go as long as I can and do as many projects as I can without buying any new yarn. I know. If the Brit was watching right now, he'd be falling over dead. He'd be just like shocked. I'm going to see how far I can go without buying any new yarn. So, but this is still 2024. So I figured I can buy all the yarn I want in 2024 and then just use it in 2025. So 2025 is going to be like going through my beautiful stashes of yarns that I loved. Why did I buy it? Because I loved it. And I'm going to make something beautiful. So I'm putting out the challenge, and you guys can hold me to it. But every month I'm going to say, okay, this is January. These are the projects I'm going to do. These are the yarns I'm going to do. And at the end of the month, I will say, this is everything I made in this month. And then we'll go into February, and I'll grab a bunch of yarn and a bunch of projects, and this is what I'm going to make in February. That's how I'm going to do it. So, oh, wow. Terry says, I almost made it with no new yarn this year. I blew it this week, but I got a whole closet. See, there you go. I kind of blew it too because there was a lot of Black Friday stuff. Yes, exactly. I binged on I got to tell you, those of you that were here with me last week and we were talking about Arcane Fiberworks, y'all were, I don't know if you're on this week or not, but it got me thinking. I don't think she is on tonight. And she said they're having a big sale. And do you know, I went off right then and there and I bought some yarn. I did. So, yeah, so y'all are responsible for some of the purchases that I had made. And then I loved this Flower Power so much. This worked that I went and I got more colors of this. So I'm going to make 2 Flower Power blankets like this and keep one for myself and the Brit. I'm probably going to give one to my son and his girlfriend, maybe for Valentine's Day or something like that. Give him like a mystery picnic idea and a beautiful blanket to do it with. But yeah, I did do some shopping this week. Furls was having a big sale. So I haven't done the unboxing yet. I'm going to do it, but oh my God, you guys were I haven't opened the boxes because they're so pretty, but I got the metal hooks, and rose gold is my signature color. So one of these has the rose gold hook in it. I don't know which one. I'll be doing an unboxing of these guys. It's killing me because I'm waiting for more to come in. Then I'm going to do them all together. So there you go. So that was my Black Friday. But when you see them, you'll see my Black Friday stashes. They come through. I'm going to do little videos and open them up. Oh, right. Terry says I'm addicted to Flower Power. Yes. Okay. So if you guys didn't check out my video, and I even did a little short on this Flower Power, it works. It works. Last week, I published my video on making this flower power thing work. And I was like, I don't know, because the granny square thing in one did not work for me. Did not work for me. Hated it. These guys, oh my gosh. I'm going to have to redo the last border. This was just my first try, my first go round. And I was like, oh, if you haven't watched my video, you got to check it out. I was so jazzed. I was so pumped. This color is called Hyacinth Bucket, but anybody who watches the show Keeping Up Appearances knows it's Hyacinth Bouquet. And that's what this color was called. And I was sold. So I got this one. I got another 5 or 6 skeins. And I loved it so much. I went back to the website and I got, I think, just about every color. Oh, dear. Okay, Terry, take off. And I said I was going to be gone at 30. So I am going to leave because Mumsy is waiting for us to ring in the birthday with birthday cakes and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much. Sonia, she made the African flower motifs. Good for you. I couldn't get the all-in-one grannies to work. But we'll be back next Friday, literally wrapping up the granny squares for Project Welcome Home. We'll be doing more video unboxings and stuff like that. I just wanted to pop on quickly and say thank you all so much. Happy crocheting. Woo! And I'll be seeing you guys next week. Happy Friday. All right. I'm taking off now. Take care. Bye-bye. Cheers out. Peace out.